Well, it looks like today is going to be a beautiful day outside, and I think today is probably the right day, probably the perfect day to go ahead and start grazing our new pasture out here. I just fertilized this probably like 10 days ago, and it has really greened up and started to grow quite a bit. So I don't know if you're going to be able to tell when you look at this, but that grass looks like it's like 12 inches tall already. Now, of course, I don't want to give them this entire pasture area. I'm going to section it off with some temporary wire. I think we're going to come off close to where this tree is right here and just go straight across, and that'll be our first paddock. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and feed the sheep real quick this morning. We went ahead and moved the ram, Mo. We moved him over with the heifers the other day. So feeding today will be a little bit easier because the ram always tries to get the feed bucket out of your hand or hit it with his head. He tries to ram the feed bucket, so it won't have to deal with him. You guys are all ready for some food, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Larry, you try to do that. No, Larry. Larry, I gotta try to hold these in. I can't. No. Come on. Move it, Larry. All right, everybody outside. Come on. Look out, babies. Let me dump that stuff out here. All you babies trying to get to the feed? It's supposed to be for your mamas. Still got standing water out here. See if I get the heifers to come in here. That way I can adjust the fence. Just gonna follow me? Well, you straight for the camera every time. Next thing they're curious about is the side-by-side. What is that? Something's in the ground. Oh, man, you never know what you're gonna find around here. There's so much junk. It's like every day you find something new. Here's a big piece of metal that was just sitting in the ground out of here. They must have somehow, with all this mud, they uprooted it somehow. Can I put this in here? Oh, you got my seat all slobbery. Good going. Since they're so curious, I think I'll mess with this mineral feeder, and they'll probably all come out here just to see what I'm doing. There's some in here, it's just clumped up. That loose mineral ends up clumping up. Now I got garlic salt all over my Leatherman. Back to the camera again. The heck? Well, they all came in here except for Oliver, the little bull. I may have to chase him in here. Go ahead, buddy. Come on. Go in there with Maya. I know it's muddy. So I'm going to take up this electric fence that we got right here, and we'll reuse it to set up this new paddock. I just got mud slung on me. All right, you guys ready to come out here? You guys have been watching me the whole time. Straight to the camera, every time. Boy, you're eating that red clover up, aren't you? Maya, you're a grass-eating machine. So right now they're just eating back here where this old fence line was. That was already there, so it's a lot taller than what we planted last year. So right here's what we just planted this last fall. And you can see we got some red clover mixed up in here. Grass, there's quite a few dandelions in here as well. So there's plenty of food out here for these guys, more than they can really eat. So I doubt they're gonna be able to keep up with all this. Hey piggies, you still got a little bit of food. Come up and eat. Hey little guys, how you doing? Hmm? Yeah, these piggies were already used to these drinkers, so no training required. Is that good? Yeah? So we just got our feeder pigs just a couple days ago. So the one that's more white back there, that's a boy, and these other two are girls. And they said that the mother was a Hampshire and the dad was a Berkshire. So that ended up with a pretty unique color pattern. They're all from the same litter, but they look completely different. So one of our ewes that had triplets, we noticed that she is limping pretty bad. So we decided I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the big stall in the barn here and get some fresh straw down. And if we get a chance, we're gonna try to move her and the triplets into that stall so that we can look at her hoof. And we're afraid she might have hoof rot, and it's probably due to the really wet conditions we have out here, and then all of this hay here in the barnyard right here, the wasted hay, it's holding moisture very badly. So it'd be nice to keep her in a dry stall for a little while we treat her. So she may have to stay in there for a few weeks. We'll just have to wait and see what her hoof looks like. So I just came in the barn to clean out this stall, and the ewe that I'm looking for and her triplets are all in this other stall. So they're already in here. So I think I can close the door to keep them inside, and we'll move them to this pen once it's cleaned. All right, we'll just close her in here for now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move the ewe and the lambs into this stall here. Hello, Mama. Can you get up for me? Hey, Mama. Can you get up? Oh yeah, she's favoring that front left foot. There you go. Good job. You guys can lay in there. It's nice and dry. So she's probably she's our worst looking ewe. She's got a lot of wool, but she's probably our best mother. And she's probably the best around us. Like, she's not skittish. She'll let us handle her just fine. All the other sheep try to run away. So she has really good traits. And then of course she has the wool trait that we don't want. So even though she looks bad, she's probably the best mama that we got. Little baby, you can't help.
Are you gonna get them on her butt, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna get her on her butt. I think you got to pull her bottom leg, don't you? Oh, which one is she favoring? This one? I think she's favoring this one.
Okay. Hold on your butt.
All right, there you go.
There.
There we go.
Yep, look how big that toe is compared to...
Okay, I got her. I got you, Mama.
I think...
Is there something wrong with... Does that one look like it's got an infection?
Yeah, it's really swollen.
So we got to hold this here for 15 minutes?
It said at least 5 to get it to absorb. I need to look at her other toes. That one down there looks bad. Let me get up.
What else you want to do to her? Anything? Is that it?
There's nothing else we can do.
Okay. You done?
Yep.
I'm going to lay her on her side.
Okay.
I'll let her get up. Okay. There you go. What the heck? She's attacked by triplets.
I want to see if you're walking better. I think you are walking a little better.
Oh my goodness. You guys are violent.
We'll get you some feed now. Do your feet feel better, honey?
Well, we're going to leave her in that stall probably for a week to treat her one more time.
Yeah, we'll see how she's doing.
So Rebecca did trim all 4 of her feet while we had her in there, and then a couple of the feet you treated with a solution.
Yeah, copper sulfate solution, and then I just sprayed her with Blue Coat. So.
Yeah, which both of those are like an antifungal.
Antimicrobial. Yeah.
So we're hoping that helps. One foot was swollen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't have an odor, so I think we caught it really early. But it is really soggy, wet conditions, perfect for hoof rot. So. Yeah.
So, like I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm thinking about locking them out of this barnyard area and cleaning up all this hay, and because the back side of the barn is actually drier than it is in here, so we think they'll be better off if they stay in the back.
Yeah. Oh man.
You're gonna get your boots stuck.
I know. See, before I had it sitting on these blocks, like it made it more level.
I'm glad my leg wasn't right in front of that. So while I still have the post hole digger on the tractor, I've got 2 more posts that I need to get in the ground. So I'm gonna be installing another short fence between our new pig pen and over here on the barn, and we're gonna put a gate in between, and that's what the 2 posts are gonna be for. And the post that the gate hangs from, I'm gonna set in concrete, and that's why I've got on the 12-inch post hole digger. Looks good. All right, I got all of my fence posts in the ground, and I think I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take the tractor back, and I'm gonna get the side-by-side because it's got the toolbox in it, and I'll grab a few more tools, and we'll come back, we'll cut some fence panels to put up on each side of the gate opening, and the only thing I'll have left to do is to get a gate and hang it. And I did have a 10-foot gate, and I decided not to put that in here because in the past that I decided that's really not big enough. Anytime you have a gate that you go through with a tractor, depending on what type of implement, you can have some fairly large implements. And if you have to turn as you go through the gate, just 10 foot always ended up seeming too tight. So I've decided anywhere a tractor drives through, I'm gonna do a 12-foot minimum gate size. Anytime hay equipment goes through, it'll be like probably a 14-foot minimum, preferably probably 16 foot if I'm taking hay equipment through. But I'll just have to go and get a gate for this at a later day. All right, I think this project's done, at least for now. So it's almost 5 o'clock, so Rebecca's gonna be home soon. So I'm gonna go over here, do the last chores of the evening and call it a day. I was hoping to get this barnyard area cleaned out, but that's not gonna happen today. All right, let's check on the ewe. All right, there's the mama and her 3 babies. You guys doing all right? We'll go ahead and get her some feed and get everybody else fed. And some food. Just wait. What are you doing in there? Are you sitting on anything? You are. That's mine. Sorry. Well, there's a couple eggs under the square baler. Oh, look at that. There's an egg. And there's an egg down in here. Well, and there's an egg hidden back here. I hear gravel. Rebecca's home. It means it's quitting time. And here, there's 2 more eggs. It's an Easter egg hunt here every day. And today we got 8 eggs. That's actually better than normal. Well, I can say that I feel pretty zapped today. And I don't feel like I worked too hard. I think a lot of it had to do with just being out in the sun, in that sun beating down. It's starting to get a few clouds, but it was like 0 clouds in the middle of the day. And when Rebecca got home, she looked at me and she goes, "It looks like you got a little sunburnt today." And I don't know if I am or not, but I know the other day we were joking around about how I've already got like my farmer's tan. And yeah, you can see it in camera. There's I got a definite line from being outside all the time. But like I said, I'm feeling pretty zapped right now. So I think I'm definitely ready to call it a night and get cleaned up. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.